Dear friends, Namaste, that's Ramneek Wig right in front of you. And friends, here I shall be talking to you about pranayamas for beginners. That means if you're a beginner into this line and you want to start practicing, what is the right way to go? So as a beginner, the first step, the first pranayama you should start practicing is Sukparaniyama Stage 1. Now this is just for the beginners. Okay. Now, Sukparaniyama Stage 1 is also referred to as deep abdominal breathing. That means that when you breathe in, your abdomen should slowly expand outwards. And when you breathe out, it should very slowly contract inwards. Now, let me share the technique of this pranayama with you. It's relatively simple. All you need to do is to sit comfortably, keep your one hand on your abdomen so that you know you're breathing right. Now the technique of this pranayama is that first you're going to be breathing from both your nostrils to the count of 5, and very slowly your abdomen would expand outwards like a balloon. After that, without any halt, you're going to be breathing out very slowly to the count of 5 again, and your abdomen would contract inwards, and that would complete your one round of Sukparaniyama Stage 1. So you need to take care of two important things as you do this pranayama. Number one, that as you breathe in to the count of 5, abdomen should expand outwards. When you breathe out, it should contract inwards. So that's the first important thing. The second important thing is that remember, there should be no pauses in the entire exercise. Many times what people do is they breathe in bits and parts and then they breathe out in bits and parts. If you do like that, you're not going to get any benefits out of that. So remember, there should be no pauses in the entire exercise. It has to be a rhythmic pattern. Breathing in, breathing out, abdomen slightly expanding outwards, abdomen gradually contracting inwards. That should be the rhythm. Another important thing, friends, remember that the time taken in inhalation and exhalation in this pranayama is just the same. Because many a times what people do is they breathe into the count of 5. And when they breathe out, by the time they reach 3, they tell me, sir, I expelled out all my breath. So the count 4 and 5, when they did, the abdomen was going in, but they'd already expelled their breath out by the time they reached 3. So that way you cannot exert cellular pressure. So remember that you got to breathe out also very, very slowly all the way to the count of 5, and that would complete a round of Sukparaniyama Stage 1. So friend, that's my first pranayama for the beginners. Now let me come to the second pranayama for beginners, and that would be Sukparaniyama Stage 2. Now Sukparaniyama Stage 2 is that now we're going to start with the ratio patterns. Friends, remember that pranayama has 4 important limbs. Number 1, inhalation. Number 2, internal retention. Number 3, exhalation. And number 4, external retention. So it all depends on which pranayama we are doing. There are some pranayamas which only have inhalation and exhalation. There are some pranayamas which have inhalation, internal retention, and exhalation. There are some pranayamas which have inhalation, straight away exhalation, and then external retention. And there are others which have 4 limbs, all the 4 limbs working together, like inhalation, internal retention, exhalation, and external retention. So it really depends that which pranayama are we doing right now. Now, Sukparaniyama Stage 2 is my second pranayama for beginners. Again, the technique of doing this pranayama would go something like this, that first, you're going to sit comfortably in whatever posture you're most comfortable. Now, I'm not telling you to keep your back straight or chin parallel to the ground, because again, remember friends, that pranayama is not a physical exercise, it is a cellular exercise. Many times people are more bothered about their chin parallel to the ground, or how they're seated, or is the back spine erect or not. Now, these things really don't make a difference as far as the cellular oxygenation is concerned. Pranayama is very scientific. It's the cellular oxygenation. So again, for Sukparaniyama stage 2, just sit comfortably wherever you can. Keep your eyes, close your eyes. Keep your one hand on your abdomen. Now, in this pranayama, the technique goes something like this, that first, you're going to be breathing in from both your nostrils to the count of 5, and your abdomen is going to expand outward slowly and gradually. After that, without halting anywhere, you're going to be breathing out to the count of 10, like very, very slow and gentle exhalation so that your abdomen goes all the way in. And that would complete your one round of Sukparaniyama stage 2. Now friends, again, do take care of these 3 important things which I'm going to bring out right now. Number 1, follow the abdominal breathing pattern. That means when you breathe in, your abdomen should expand outwards. When you breathe out, it should contract inwards. Second, remember no pauses in the entire exercise. If you breathe out in bits and parts, you're going to get no benefits out of that because the cellular pressure is not going to get exerted. Number 3, remember the time taken in inhalation would be just half of that of exhalation. That means double the time would be taking place in exhalation. You're going to be breathing out to the count of 10. Remember, this pranayama, you're going to be breathing into the count of 5 and breathing out to the count of 10. That means the time taken in exhalation should be just the double that of inhalation. Now, many times, again, I see people making this bad mistake. What they do is, they inhale to the count of 5, and by the time they reach 7 or 8, they tell me, sir, I expelled all my breath out by the time I reached 7. And 8, 9, and 10, the mental count when I was doing, only the abdomen was contracting inwards because I was consciously trying to pull it inwards. However, the breath was already exhaled out by the time I reached 7. So I tell them, listen friend, we're not doing a physical exercise, we're doing a cellular exercise. We want to pressurize ourselves nicely. So remember to exhale out all the way to the count of 10. And that would complete your one round of Sukparaniyama stage 2. Now, the third pranayama, what I want to talk to you about here for beginners is the left nostril breathing. Now, left nostril corresponds to the cooling nadi. It is said that prana travels through subtle tube-like channels called as nadis. They say that as blood travels through arteries and veins, they say prana travels through subtle tube-like channels in our system called as nadis. Now, the left nostril corresponds to the Chandra nadi or the cooling nadi. The right nostril corresponds to the Surya nadi or the heating nadi. So, the left nostril breathing is a pranayama to try to activate the cooling nadi, the cooling nostril, to get a cooling effect in our system. Now, this is a very good pranayama even for people suffering from high blood pressure, blockages in arteries, anxiety, depression, stress. Again, a very good pranayama for all these concerns. Now, the way to do this pranayama would go something like this, that first you make an apan mudra like this. That means you join the middle 2 finger and the thumb together and the other 2 fingers like this, pointed outward. That's your apan mudra. Okay? Now, the starting position would be that first you're going to be closing your right nostril, exhaling out all from left, completely emptying your abdomen. That is the starting position. First step, inhale from left to the count of 4. Next step, exhale from left itself to the count of 8. And that completes your one round of left nostril breathing. Now friends, remember that in left nostril breathing pranayama, you got to each time inhale from left nostril and again each time exhale from the left itself. So remember, you're not going to be using the right nostril in this pranayama because you want a cooling effect as you complete your round. And the left nostril, as I did tell you, is cooling in nature. So again, the technique would go something like that, that first you get into the starting position, you close your right nostril, exhale out all from left completely. First, you got to empty your abdomen. That's your starting position. First step, inhale from left to the count of 4. Abdomen expands outwards. Second step, exhale from left itself to the count of 8. Abdomen contracts inwards, and that completes your one round. So we do a couple of rounds in this pranayama before getting back to our relaxation exercise. Now remember, this is again a good pranayama for beginners, and again a good one for people with hypertension, blockages in arteries, cardiovascular diseases. Now friends, let me tell you that I myself suffered from cancer 3 times, and pranayama food therapy, they really helped me in my healing process. So friends, I do take classes, online classes on pranayama, food therapy and meditation. And I take classes, disease-specific classes, basic classes, and teachers training courses also. So if you're interested in doing any courses with me, you can directly get in touch with me. My personal cell and WhatsApp number is 9910178140. Our center is located at Delhi. And I have over 1900 videos on YouTube also. You can check me out over there. My YouTube address is youtube.com/Ramneek Wig. So friends, do take care of yourselves and have a great day ahead.